Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Harita from the Department of Public Administration. Today, we'll be continuing our class. Today's class is a BA third year, sixth semester, core paper, Financial and Material Management. And in today's class, we'll be discussing about Block 2 and as well as Block 3. In Block 2, we'll be discussing the Unit 7, Reserve Bank of India, structure and functions, and we'll also try to finish block 3, unit 8 and 9. Unit 8 is meaning and concept of material management, and unit 9 procurement, storage and distribution. So in today's class we will first start with the unit 7 of block 2, that is Reserve Bank of India, structure and functions. Now, till yesterday's class, we have discussed about the financial administration, the developmental administrative processes of the parliamentary committees, the preparation of the budget, then the enactment of the budget, and all these concepts of financial management. Now, the to manage all the financial transactions by the common man, or to take up the responsibility of the finances of the government of India, there should be an institution or an authority to take care of the all the physical policies, or we can say the monetary policies. So it is the Reserve Bank of India. So what now? The Reserve Bank of India was established as the central bank of the country in the year 1935. In the year 1935, the Reserve Bank of India was established as the central bank of the central bank on April 1st, 1935. So now what is the importance of this Reserve Bank of India? The Reserve Bank of India, it plays a very, very crucial role. It plays a very crucial role, we can say, as the in the monetary policy formulation, and the economic development of the country, or the in the economic development of the why? Because it takes care about the all the financial transactions of the country. That is, it is the central bank, and all the banks are connected to this bank only. Hence, it plays a very, very crucial role. So, it and the what are the main important, we can say, which the point to be remembered when when we just get in our mind about Reserve Bank of India. It issues banknotes and secures monetary stability. That is, we all know when demonetization was there, everybody, the Reserve Bank of India only came up with the guidelines how the money has to be. And later on, the when last in 2000 notes also, when they were not being the legal tender, when the Reserve Bank of India only came up with the guidelines. So the issue of banknotes and the we can say is the prime responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India. So now coming to the organizational structure of the Reserve Bank of India, we can say that it is a pyramid, we can say, as we all know that the organizational structure, mostly it will be of a pyramid type. That is, the supporting staff will be at the lowest level of the hierarchy, and it is on the in the broader prospects, and it will be on the pointed note. As we all know how the pyramid looks like, it looks like a triangle. So on the bottom level, on the bottom side, we have a wider area. So the wider area can be of the supporting staff, then the assistant managers, then the managers, all this. This all comes up. This all comes up when there will be things. So it is the highest, the topmost, or point where the highest authorities in the organizational structure of the Reserve Bank is the Central Board of Directors. The Central Board of Directors are at the top of the Reserve Bank. So, the in the organizational structure at the lowest level in the hierarchy is the supporting staff. Then we have the administrative staff, the assistant managers, like that the hierarchy goes on. And at the appointed at the highest level, it is the board of the Central Board of Directors, which are being the central board of directors, which play a very important role in controlling the economic structure of the country, we can say. So in this regard, after the central board of directors, the governor plays a very important role. And the governor, after the central board, we have the governor. So the governor is the chief executive. Now, on the note, on the legal tender, that is on the bank note, we see the signature of the governor of Reserve Bank of India. So, hence, he is termed as the chief executive of the Reserve Bank of India. So, this can be the organizational structure, a simple one where we can say the organization, to simplify the organizational structure, we can just simply remember that the organizational structure is like a pyramid, and the lowest level of the hierarchy is the supporting staff, and the admin, then later on the administrative staff, then the assistant managers, like that the hierarchy goes on. Then on the top level, and the top level at the pointed level the of the pyramid, on the top level is the Central Board of Directors. They are been, and they assist the govern. The governor will also be the chief executive. The governor will be the chief executive, and he takes up the responsibility of the economic development issue of banks, providing guidelines to the banks. So this is the organizational structure of the Reserve Bank of India. Now coming to the functions of the bank, the Reserve Bank. What are the important functions? What are the important functions of this Reserve Bank? This can be of five types. The function, the we can say the functions can be divided into five. The first one is the traditional functions. Second is developmental functions. Third is supervisory functions. Then the next one is the credit policy functions. So now what is the first function? The traditional function. The traditional function means the most important function. Traditional, by the name only we can understand. Traditional means from way back, from the history this is going on. So the traditional functions may be issue of currency notes, and the Reserve Bank is a banker to the banks, means the Reserve Bank of India gives the guidelines, gives out if any bank in the country needs any help, they approach the Reserve Bank of India only, and they follow all the banks in India. They follow the guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India only. So we can say the two important things under the traditional functions, we can say, is the first one is the issue of currency notes, and the second one is banker to other banks. Then we have the second important one, developmental functions. Now, developmental functions, by the name only, it suggests development of the country, development of the economy, whereby placing the country in the international market. All these are the, we can give the synonyms to development. So hence we can say that development functions play a very important role in the economy of the country. So in the developmental functions, we can say development of agriculture. Now, how does development of agriculture is related to Reserve Bank? That is, NABARD. That is, it is a bank associated with the agricultural practices. So this bank comes under the Reserve Bank of India, which grants loans to the farmers, and it takes care of their farmers, and it issues all the agricultural practices to the needed for the farmers, and they do the funding for the farmers. So the development of agriculture can be done through the Reserve Bank, through the NABARD, and the other banks also, RRB regional banks as well. So then the publications. Next important function under the developmental functions is publication of reports. Means the bank comes out with the quarterly publications, half yearly publications, or yearly publications, whereby providing rightful information to the citizens, whereby creating an awareness about the banking system, the latest trends in the banking system, issue of loans or whatever it is through the banking. So it is a developmental process, because awareness is very, very important. If a citizen has awareness regarding each and everything, then it will create a major breakthrough for the development of the country, we can say. Next, we can say third one is provision of industrial finance. Now, we all know it, every bank, every citizen, it might be a common man, an industrialist, or a banker, or a farmer, whoever it might be, they all need money. So everybody needs money. So they approach these banks and get assistance, financial assistance from these banks to fulfill their dreams or wishes. So in turn, they are building or they are contributing to the economy. So the prime responsibility, we can say that the prime responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India is to take care of the citizens. It might be an industrialist, or it might be a farmer or a common man, and to take care of the needs and provide them financial assistance in building themselves, and in turn building the economy. Hence, we can say that the developmental functions of the Reserve Bank of India also play a very, very important role. Then we have the third function, that is the supervisory functions. Now, what does the supervisory functions mean? That is, on overall, they have to, the Reserve Bank of India is the apex one, where they have to have a clear understanding what is happening, where the transactions are going on, how the banks are working in the country. Everything has to be taken care of. So, and in this regard, the first important thing is granting license to banks. Now we all know that there are nowadays we are having many private banks as well. And previously, we used to have only nationalized banks, but now presently we are having no, private banks as well. So these private banks, however they want to, they cannot start themselves. So they need some guidelines, they need some license to they continue their operations. So it is the responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India to grant a license to these banks, and also to monitor these operations of the banks. So that is very, very important. Then, and if they are granting permissions, if they are granting license also, but and they should have a vigilant eye on the working of these banks. So not only the private banks, but the Reserve Bank of India has that ability and it has that responsibility to have to conduct inspections on the banks overall India. That is, it can conduct inspections on the private banks, on the nationalized banks, whatever, all the banks of India come under the Reserve Bank of India. Hence, they can be inspected. So Reserve Bank of India has the supervisory power or supervisory function is it has to inspect the banks whenever it is needed. Then we have the next one is the credit policy. Credit policy is it aims, the credit policy aims at increasing finances for agriculture, increasing finances for agriculture and industrial activities. That is, they have to give out some credit. Credit means they are providing some loans and giving the opportunity for welfare. So credit loans we can say, that is previous we can say that we can the Reserve Bank of India will provide some credit loan. Before only they can take a loan and later on they can pay the amount. So that can be termed as a credit loan. So these are the banks, the Reserve Bank of India plays a very operative functions or a very important functions whereby taking care of the citizens in a proper and systematic manner. So the once again I am repeating the important functions of the Reserve Bank of India are traditional functions, developmental functions, supervisory functions, and credit policy. So these are the important functions of the Reserve Bank of India. So in the topic Reserve Bank of India, we have discussed about the structure and the functions. So these are the two important points to be remembered under the Reserve Bank of India. Later, we will move on to the next topic of Block 3, Unit 8 and 9. Block 3 is material management. So with the Reserve Bank of India, we have finished financial management. As you all know that the core paper is, title of the core paper is Financial and Material Management. So from the topic 1 of block 1, that is unit 1, meaning scope of financial administration, to Reserve Bank of India, we have discussed about the financial administration, the financial management, how the country moves forward with and comes out with the economic development through the financial administration. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is the material management. Now, in your semester, first I will break down the thing. In your final year, you have studied about human resource management in your fifth semester. Later on, now you have studied financial management. Now you are studying material management. That is, in your final year, you are studying about the management paper. That is, how human resources is how human resources have to be managed. As we all know, it's a workforce. Likewise, now human resource to work, overall view is, if an organization is there, then the working of the organization has to be on three important aspects, that is the workforce, the finance, and the material. So these are the three important things: money, material, and manpower. So these three are very important for the working of the organization. The organization, if he wants to achieve its objectives, then it has to have these three M's, that is men, material, and money. So in this final year, we are discussing about men, that is human resources. We have already discussed it in the semester 5. Now we are discussing money, that is the financial management. And later in the third part, that is the material management. That is, so these three are the most important aspects. It might be in the private organization or in the public organization. Organization, whatever organization might be there, these are the three important M's to be kept in mind by the organization to achieve its objectives. So, now what do we understand by the term material management? By the name material management, name material means the usage of raw material, the usage of raw material to the distribution, that is to the finishing product, right from the buying of the raw material to the, we can say, to the finished product. What all processes takes place, that has to be in a systematical order. Managing them all is material management. So, if we want to put it in a simple sentence, we can say material management is a process of supplying goods and services to an organization to achieve its objective. Once again, I am repeating. Material management is a process of supplying goods and services to an organization to achieve its objectives. In this, to achievement of the objectives, the organization cannot just simply say, I need some material and I have to manufacture the goods. No. So for that, it has to undergo many things. That is, it should have planning, it should have the coordination, it should have the budgeting, everything, all the organizing the materials, directing the things, all these has to be taken under control. Then only the organization can achieve its objectives. So now we will move on to the actual unit, that is the material management, the concept. So now I have explained you about the meaning of material management. Now we will discuss the scope of material management. In that, the scope of material management, we have material planning, first one. Second, material control. 3, procurement. 4, storage. And 5, distribution. So, the scope of material management consists of 5 important steps. And each step has its own role and importance. Without going on with under each step, the objective of the organization cannot be achieved. So each step has its own importance and each step has its own, we can say, a role to play. So first we will discuss each and every point. Now, first one is material planning. Now, what do we understand by the term material planning? For an organization, the organization first, it has to plan what material it has to get. That is, every organization might not need all the material what is there in the market. So it has to have a proper planning of what material has to be bought, or what material has to be get into from the market. So material planning, that is, what has to be done, which quality, what material has to be bought, and at what cost. Everything has to be planned. Then only they can move forward. The organization can move forward. Otherwise, what happens is they might not, if they don't have a clear picture in the mind of the organization, then it will be loss of money, loss of workforce, loss of time, all these aspects might have a great impact on the objective, on the result of the organization. So the first and foremost step when in the material management is material planning. What has to be bought into the organization, what material, what quality of material has to be bought from the market. That is the first step, material planning. Then we have the second one, material control. Material control means after planning, how much quantity, how much, what quality, everything has to be after planning. Then the next is material control. That is how much has to be bought. That is the everything controlled things when the conditions are in the controlled manner, when the workforce works in a controlled manner, then things come out in a very positive way. And at what at means the procuring, or we can say buying of the raw material at the right time, then bringing to the organization at the right time, manufacturing the goods at the right time. That is, the material control has to be done in an adequate and in a proper timing. That is material control. And moreover, the organization cannot buy how much, if it is coming at a cheaper rate, the organization might not, yeah, sometimes it shows that my way will buy, but based on the based on the raw material, the organization should control its buying capacity. So otherwise, it might end up losing profits. Then the third one is procurement. Procurement means purchasing. Purchasing of the raw material is termed as procurement. So after planning, after having a control on the material, what has to be bought into the organization, then the organization should go for buying of the raw material. Then we have storage. Next is storage. Storage means now after buying the raw material, after procuring the material, it has to store, the organization has to store in a proper place. Otherwise, there might be chances of contamination, there might be chances of any, if the conditions, climatic conditions are not good, or if there are the physical conditions of the organization are not proper, then there might be chances of losing the material. So the storage plays a very, very important role after buying the raw material. Then later on, distribution. Distribution is distribution can be of two types. That is distribution, that is from the storage to the production, and as well as the distribution of the end product to the market as well. So distribution also plays a very, very important role. That is, in the controlled atmosphere, in the controlled manner only, it has to be done. So distribution, if the storage is being done in a very, very controlled manner, then distribution also should be done in that manner only. So this is the scope of material management. Now, after the scope of material management, we have to discuss what are the objectives. Objectives of this material management. Why the organizations should go for this material management. That is, the first and foremost we can say is procuring the raw material at minimum price by wisely timing the purchase. That is, if the procurement of the raw material is done wisely, that is based on the time, based on the situations, then the it can be a wise decision. So the timing, procurement of the first and foremost objective of the organization should be that it should procure the raw material wisely. It should procure the raw material wisely and timely. That is, it should buy the raw material from the market or from wherever it is procuring at the right time, at the right place, and at the means it should act wisely. That is the first and foremost objective. Then second one is consistency in quality and quantity. As I told you, consistency in quality and quantity means it should not, the organization should not be over ambitious or it should not be less ambitious also, means it should not buy whatever comes in its way, and also it should not go in a stringent manner, that is only the organization buying only less raw material, then we will buy all these things should not be are some we can say it might create some negative impact on the organization. So the prime objectives of the organization should be, the first one is timely and wisely purchase of the raw material. Then the second one is the it can be consistency of quality and quantity. The rightful quality and rightful quantity has to be purchased, then only the organization can achieve its targets. Then the third one is procuring the material when they are available. Now sometimes we see that in the market, if the material is much, then some we can say some organizations procure whenever it is available in the market, because if, as we all know, that demand and supply comes here, that is, if demand is more, the supply comes down, and if the supply is more, the demand comes down. So the wise decision of the organization is the right time, right thing. So it should buy or it should procure the material whenever that is available in the market, and it has to have a thorough check of the market trends as well. Means every organization should keep in mind that how it has to be in the market and how it has to work in the market and get the rightful material, procurement of the rightful material at the right time. So this might be the most important objectives to be remembered by the organization when it is going for procuring of the raw material, or and also for the material management. Then we will move on to the functions of material management. What are the important functions of material management? The first one is production and material control. As I told you, production and material control. The organization should focus on the production, because if the production is good, then only the outcome will be good. And how much material is being utilized for the production purpose, that is, how much is being used, the quantity and quality of raw material, then only the end product will be a fruitful one, then only the organization might get some profits. So that is very, very important function to be taken care of by the organizations. Then we have the second one is purchasing. Purchasing is procuring, as I told you, the procuring of the materials. Whenever it is needed, they have to purchase right material at the right time. Then third one is non-production stores. Non-production stores means it has to have a non-production stores in the standby, whereby helping the other departments to cope up with the working of the organization. Then we have traffic. Now, we see, for example, for this traffic, we'll take the perishable goods. What are called as perishable goods? We all know milk is a perishable goods. That is, perishable means in a time zone or in a stipulated time only. It has to be utilized and it has to be consumed. Later on, it is of no use or it will become stale. That is why we see all these farms and dairy companies, they throw or they come in, they distribute the milk and all the milk products in the early hours of every morning, because if it comes later in the day, they might have chances of becoming stale or rotten. So it has to be bought into the market early in the morning only. So the life of that goods will be of a fixed time period. Hence, the traffic also plays here. I'm using the word traffic. So if you see early mornings, we see only these milk vans and all the more of these only, because at that time traffic will be less and they can reach the stores in a very easy manner and in a less stipulated time. So this can be traffic also plays a very, very important role. So next is material handling. Now we all know handling of the material. A glass industry, for example, in a glass industry, the workers cannot work with the glass however they wish to. It has to be handled with care. It has to be taken utmost care to deliver to the customer, and there are chances of getting hurt also, and there are chances of more of loss to the organization. So handling of the material also plays a very, very important role in material management. Then the last one is shipping. We all know shipping means delivering the finished goods to the customer or the consumer. So, when the product is being delivered to the customer at the right time, then only the customer will feel happy and he will come back to the organization again. That is, there will be a bonding. There exists a bonding between the organization and the customer, or the company and the customer, the product and the customer as well. So shipping at the right time also is very, very important, which has to be kept in mind by the organization when they are planning for material management. So this is all about the material management, that is unit 8, material management, meaning, concept and scope of the material management. Now we will move on to the next unit, that is unit 9, procurement, storage and distribution. Procurement, this is another unit in the block 3 of material management. Now, we all know, as I told you till now, that the material management consists of procurement, that is purchasing, then it has the storage facilities, then it has to be have the distribution systems as well. So now we will be dealing with each one of the concept in detail. So now what do we understand by the term procurement? Procurement means purchasing of the raw material. So procurement is purchasing. Then in this, and this is the first and foremost step in the material management. And each and every organization has to undergo this process of procurement. That is, it might be any company. It might be a jute, or a leather industry, or any boots manufacturing, or we can say these goods, TV, cell phone, whatever it might be. For every industry to function, the prime and the first step involved is procurement. Procurement is purchasing of the raw material. Now, to do the purchasing, there are some principles involved. Means the organization has to keep in mind some of the important principles to go with for the procurement process. Now, for what are they? The first principle we can say is right quality of material. Right quality, right quality of material. Because if the quality of the material is good only, then only the end product will be good. Now, if you go to a supermarket, then everybody we choose, we go for selection of the vegetables, and we'll be picky enough to select each and look after each vegetable and we pick. Means the right quality of material has, because we don't like to lose the money. We likewise the organization also, when they go for the procurement, that is purchasing of the raw materials, they have to keep in mind to go for quality, right quality of material to get a better end product. Means if they get better end product only, they can capture the market, they can earn profits from the market, and they can get more credits. That is, they might stand in the market for competition, and they might be a strong competitor for many others. So this is very, very important that organization should keep in mind these important aspects. Then we have the second one, right quantity. As I told you, right quantity. Right quality is one aspect, right quantity is also another aspect. Because if they get more quantity, and if the workforce don't know, if they think that we are having much, so we will utilize much, then there might be a problem for the end product. Means the end product might not come in a well planned manner. So right quantity of the material has to be bought, and it has to be utilized in the right quantity only to get better profits. So that has to be kept in mind. Then we have the third one, right time of purchase. Right time of purchase means the right time, right place, right purchase. So if the organization purchases at the right time only. Now, as we all know, we are in the summer season where mangoes are flooded in the market. So now everybody comes out with many purchasing the mangoes, but they have to wait for the right time to purchase. Because because as we all know, nowadays we see mangoes 365 days in the markets, but many of them don't buy the mangoes in from the market whenever they wish to. They wait for the season to come. Means the mango season is summer season. So means the right time. So the mangoes should be purchased in the month of this summer only. So means the right time to purchase. Likewise, the organizations also should keep in mind when they go for these purchases. Then the next one is information about new material and processes. Means the organizations should keep in mind and should be vigilant enough that what are the new techniques coming in the market, new material coming in the market, or what are the new processes coming in the market, and they have to elevate themselves to the market standards. Otherwise, they can be termed as outdated and they cannot be sustained. They cannot sustain in the market as well. So, to be in the market, to be in the competition, every organization should have the information about new materials and the processes. That is very, very important. Then we have close relations with other departments. Now, the procurement is being done by the department of the purchase department. So the purchase department should have a close association relationship with the finance department, with the distribution department, with the storage department, and with the production department as well. Why? Because the production department should be well informed that this material is coming, we are starting the production. Then the finance department also should be informed that there is a need of more of finance as the organization is going for more of purchasing. Then it should be inform the storage also, the store also, that the space should be provided for the raw material and they have to get ready to get the material. Likewise, each and every department's association and relations play a very important role in achieving the targets of the organization. Then we have the next one, selection of right source. Now, when the organization goes for the procuring of the raw material, they have to have the right source. That is, the organization cannot go and buy whatever comes to them. So, they have to have the right information and the right source. Means there should be a faithful source whereby giving the rightful information. Otherwise, there might be losses for the organization. So these are the important points which have to be kept in mind when the organization goes for this procurement, that is the purchasing of the raw material. Then next is the methods of procurement. What are the important methods of procurement? First one is purchase based on the need. That is, purchases, they are based on the need. So how much is needed? Based on that need only, the organization should go for procurement. Unless and until there is no need, then the procurement process should not be done, because it is just waste of money and waste of time. At times we can say. Then second one is purchase for future. If the prices are low and if it is not a non-perishable goods, then they can procure. They can procure means based on the need and the future use, the organizations should keep in mind these methods to get a fruitful objective. Then the third one is market purchase. Market purchase means when the prices are low. We can say now these are different methods. It is not mandatory that every organization should go with all the methods. Based on the quality of the procurement, based on the quantity of the procurement, based on the size of the organization, and based on the end product of the organization, manufactured goods, and all based on all these aspects only, the organization should go for one of the methods. Then the third one is market purchase, means when the prices are low then some organizations can go for buying of this raw material for future use. Then the next method is speculative purchase, means speculations that the tomorrow the prices might rise. If there is an information, speculation that the prices might rise, then by that the organizations might buy some more raw material and keep it for future use. Then the next method is spot purchasing. Spot purchasing is on the spot decisions, that if the organization goes into the market for procuring of the raw material, and if they see on the spot if the material is good and the other material, then they are on the spot decision making takes place and they can procure the raw material. That is known as spot purchasing. This is one of the method which can be followed. Then the next one is contract purchase. Contract purchase means calling for tenders on all these. That is contract. That is, we can say mostly we see organizations giving contracts to some people, and that person only delivers the raw material. Means this organization will not go into the market and will not purchase the raw material, but only it is being done by the other persons. That is called contract purchasing. Then we have scheduled purchases. Scheduled purchases means if this scheduled purchases, mostly we come across huge offices, huge government offices, government industries and private industries, huge ones where they need bulks of raw material. So when they want bulk, so one procurer cannot give them the material. So they call for tenders, means multiple people come out and call for tenders, and then each person might quote their quotations. Then one of them or multiple people might get the tenders and they might go for the purchasing. So these are the different methods of procurement. So once again, I am repeating the methods of procurement. Purchase based on the need. Second is purchase for future. Third is market purchase, spot purchasing, speculative purchase, contract purchase, and scheduled purchase. Then we have nowadays, as we all know, we are in the system, we in the era of technology. We are in the era of communication technology. So e-procurement, usage of technology, online purchases, online. So e-procurement is widely accepted and widely done. Now, what is the importance of it and how can this e-procurement be done? The first and foremost one is globalization, means around the world purchases can be done, and the globally, as we all know, now we call India, the world as a global village, whereby the purchasing through the payments are being done and the products comes to the organizations. That is called globalization. Then competitive advertisements, that is we see all the organizations, they are having a major competition, so they might come out with advertisements, online advertisements, whereby going for more of these procurement processes. Then cost effectiveness, means online they can select which material is good, which is cost effective, and whereby they can purchase it. Then information access also, that is information. Whenever they need some information, then they can have an easy access. They need not go to the organization. They can just contact them through an email and get on the website. They can just get the information needed. So this is presently the trend in the market is e-procurement. That is a very important one. Then we will move on to the next one, storage. Storage is storing of, it can be, storage can be of many things. That is storage of the raw material and as well as storage of the finished goods. So storage plays a very important role. It can be of the storage of the raw material and as well as storage of the finished goods. Now, the storage can be of three types: centralized stores, decentralized stores, and central stores with sub-stores. Centralized stores means only at one place the store will be there and everything will be dumped at one place only. That is termed as centralized stores. Then the second one is decentralized stores. That is a small area wise or the subject wise, the stores are being kept and all the products will be kept there. That is a decentralized stores. Then the third one is centralized stores with sub-stores. Means all the products will be dumped at the center only and whatever is needed is being kept in the sub-stores that are called as an central stores with sub-stores. So this is a where these are the three important storage types. Then we have the functions of the storage. What are the important functions of the storage? That is, the first one is receipt of material into the storage. That is, the receipt of material in the storage means they have to get the information of the material what is bought into the storage. That means they should have, the store has to have the knowledge, means the storekeeper should have the knowledge of the what is being put in the store. Then the record keeping, that is, as I told you, the storekeeper should be have a record of how much material is there, what quality of material is there, and everything, each and every minute information about the material has to be kept in mind by and maintained a record by the storekeeper. Then storage of materials. Storage of material, that is, the storage of material in the stores plays a very important role because it has to be the storage has to, the space provided, the it cannot be dumped at one place. So based on the importance of the raw material, based the place has to be provided. So these are the important functions of a store. Then in the stores, we have what are the important principles which have to be kept in mind. That are that the first and foremost one is inflammable material. That is, the store has to have the whole information whether it is inflammable or it is, so it has to keep in mind how to store. That is, if that is a crude oil, petrol, or diesel or like that flammable, inflammable one, then the storage facilities have to be different. Likewise, the other products also. Then the second is perishable goods and non-perishable goods. That is, refrigerators have to be provided, cold storages have to be provided in the stores so that the goods are, the quality of the goods should not go waste. So, this mostly we come across for fruits and vegetables, milk products where cold storages will be there and they because in market yards also we see cold storages where the food grains or whatever they keep it in the these storages whereby not to get more damaged. So these are the most important principles which have to be kept in mind by the organizations. Now in the stores we have two important things, that is go downs and warehouses. We come across mostly, we hear stores means go downs and warehouses. Now, what is a godown and what is a warehouse? Warehouse is a modern place of storage which seeks to safeguard the utility value of the goods. That is, we come across warehouses. Now, the garment companies, they have warehouses. The cold storages, they have warehouses. They are not termed as godowns because the quality, these are the warehouses, are the modern spaces where they keep in mind about the quality of the product. So these are the warehouses. And what are godowns? Godowns are such places for stocking the goods which lack scientific facilities of storage. Godowns are scientific facilities of storage, that is, huge things, huge, we see many rice godowns, all these. We do because the rice is being stored, tons and tons of rice is stored. So these are termed as godowns and warehouses where quality, value of the goods is very, very important. So warehouses are the modern spaces and godowns are the spaces where tons and tons of